and welcome back to another video in this week's Java tutorial. So in our last video we learned about what a method was and the keywords like static, the return types, the names and the parameters and things like that. We created a very simple method that printed some lines out. And the next step that we're going to be working on is taking parameters. So basically, as you've noticed in our function that we created before, it does the same exact thing no matter what you do every single time you call it. So with parameters, we can mix things up a little bit. So basically what we're trying to do is we are going to let it take in some sort of input from the user, and then based on what the user says, we will have the result change every time the function gets run. So basically how we're going to do that is we are going to create our function as normal. Static, void if you would like. We can return things later, and we are going to take in a parameter in the parentheses. So in the parentheses here, we're going to have to give the data type of what we're trying to take in from the user and the name of it. And then we can use it however we want in our function. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. My PowerPoint froze. We'll let that. There we go. Okay, so back to our Replit. Again, whenever we create a function, we want to put it in the main class, but outside of the main function. So not in here. In here on line 3 is where we would run our code. We want to create our function outside, like over here. Again, we start with the keyword static, because static means that this function belongs to the main class and not an object of the main class. So static, again, I don't think I'm going to use the return keyword. We will use the return keyword in our next video. So again, void. I'm not going to return anything. Then let's give it a name. So let's think about this. Let's try to take an integer first. So because integers are easy. So let's do pets. And then parentheses. Now, this is how you would normally start your function, right? But since we're taking in a parameter, inside of these parentheses, we give the data type of the parameter and the name of our parameter. So since we want to give an integer, we would say int, and then the name of the integer can be whatever you want, as long as you remain constant. So int num. So this would be the number of pets, per se. So then let's do system.out.println. And we love animals. I have plus num plus pets. Okay, so let's see what I did here. What I'm doing is I have a function called pets, and I've passed in a parameter, an integer parameter called num. So when I print it out, depending on what we put in as our integer parameter here, if I put in 7, we would say, we love animals, I have 7 pets. If it was 25, we would go, we love animals, I have 25 pets. If it were the truth, it would be, we love animals, I love 0 pets. I have 0 pets. I'm still working on it. I would like more pets, but we'll see. So we've created our simple function that takes in an integer parameter. Again, pretty easy, right, guys? All we have to do is stick a couple of words in our parentheses and then use that variable name when we actually do things in our function. So now, how are we going to call the function? Go back to our main function in here. We still use the name called pets. We still have the parentheses. We still have the semicolon. But instead, in the parentheses, we're going to give the value of our integer. So say I did 7 here. Then if I wanted to run it again, I would give maybe 256. Pets again. 2,000, no, okay, that is a big number. I'm not even going to bother trying. Okay, so I've run my function 3 times. Each time I plug in a different number in our parentheses here. So each time when we run our code, we're going to see something different get printed out. And as you can see, the first one says, we love animals. I have 7 pets. Second one says, I have 256 pets. Third one says, I have 23,456,789 pets. Lots and lots of pets. Pets lady there. Okay, So basically, what I've done here is I've taken in my parameter, and when I run my code, I just put my actual value in those parentheses. Okay, good. So that was pretty easy, right? We took in a parameter. I could take in more than one. So say I wanted to take in another one. So int want. So how many animals do you want? I have num pets, and then say system.out.println, but I would like plus the wants number pets. So now when we run our code, is it going to work if we just give it one number? I don't know. Let's see, okay? It's not going to work. Well, no, it's expecting a semicolon. That's not the error we were going for. Let's run it again. I put my semicolon back in, and let's just see what happens. Okay, so it says method pets cannot be applied to given types. And look at the error code here. If you look carefully, pet7 required int, found int. So what does that mean? It's telling us that our parameters, we gave it two parameters, two integers, but it only found one integer. So what we need to do is we need to give two integers for every single function, because that's what we did when we were creating it. So let's run it again this time, and let's see what happens. So I've plugged in a numbers, and note that these numbers are separated by commas. Again, in the parameters as well. My replit, let me reload the site here. Give it a second. Come on, REPL. Okay, let's run it again. This time, it should show us what we want, and it's going to show us, drum roll. There we go, it's coming. We love animals. I have 7 pets, but I would like to have 8 pets. Again, I have 256, I would like 1,234, and so on. Okay, so we've learned how to take in parameters. This is an integer example. Let's do a quick string example for our video. Let me create another function. Again, start with static, void again, because I'm not going to use the return keyword, greeting, so let's say hi, and let's say string name. So this time I'm going to give a greeting, except not everybody's name is Sunny, not everybody's name is Bob, not everybody's name is Susan. Okay, so let's say based on the name that you give me, I'll give you a different greeting. So then we're going to say system.out.println, hello, not hello, hello plus name. And then say, it is very nice to meet you. Okay, so what this is going to do is we're going to run our function here and give it we're going to run our function here and we're going to give it a string in our parameters. And over here, let's go ahead and do that. One thing that I forgot to mention is you need to put a semicolon after your function. So do not forget that. I'm so sorry. That is my bad. Don't forget your semicolon afterwards. We run it again by doing greeting. Then in here, since we're doing a string, guys, we have to put the string in quotation marks. Okay, so hello, Sunny. Let's do Sunny first. We can do Bob next. Okay, let's run our code. Let's see what happens. So when we run our code again, we know the pets should come out as normal, but our greeting should also come out underneath that, right? So let's give my browser some time to run. It's being a little bit slow, as we can tell. But let's give it some time to run, and let's see what comes out. There you go. It's coming out. So it says, hello, Sunny. It's very nice to meet you. Hello, Bob. It is very nice to meet you. So now we see how to take in parameters with both integers and strings. Very easy, simple. Just use the data type and the name of your variable inside of your parentheses. Okay, so in our next video, we're going to mix things up a little bit and do a quick activity where we're going to take in two numbers as our parameters. We're going to actually return something. So the return type is no longer going to be void, and we're going to try the minimum or maximum of a number. Okay, so think on that, and then come watch the next video. Bye, guys.